Alright, this is basically part 2. It's just going to be a smaller one. Don't know if it'll be 45 minutes. Just a smaller one, maybe on the Plasmamancer this time. Because this boy still needs a lot of work, I think. Just some edge highlighting and the basing. This one, I just need to fix up some of the bone bits. Really, I think that's it. Fix up some of the bone bits and shades. Skeleton horde wise. Fix it up on the inside and it's done. This one just needs a couple of repairs. It's mainly about the Plasmamancer for today. This is a part 2 to last night's video. I'm trying to find a recording software that will record longer than 45 minutes. I got recommended OBS. I have no idea how it works, so I will be test running that. Maybe for tonight, I don't know yet. We'll literally just be tests, but yeah. Start with the Boneshaper first, because it's quite literally just bone bits along the magic, highlighting the magic highlights, then doing skeleton horde on some of the bone bits I have missed, especially on these bone bits, but it's mainly going to be focused on the Plasmamancer today. It will be a short, probably 30-minute one. Not sure yet. No. Alright, so let's do the bones first. Let's do all the race bone stuff first on this model. Well, let's try and move on to the Plasmamancer. No. Because there are slabs on here. Yeah. There are slabs of bone on here, so it will be this. No. You gotta paint all these up in Wraith Bone. Then I need to, obviously, Skeleton Horde it as well. Because I believe what it's meant to represent is just... Basically what it's doing is ripping apart the skeleton here and using that bone to make a new skeleton, or repairing a broken one. I think that's what the basic of the model is. So yeah, just got all these little touch-ups to do. I do have some magic to do as well. So that's all the Wraith Bone segments and that done. Yeah. I'm gonna let those dry for a second while I work on the magic. Because I have seen that I haven't properly fully done the magic. There are some red bits that haven't been done it. No. I'll be learning how to use OBS. Just YouTube tutorials and that on how it works. Free plan, obviously, I do not have the money. As stated, I'm not doing this for the money. I would be painting nonetheless. Might as well record it. That's my thought process. I don't think I can even earn an income off of YouTube. Because I think you have to have a certain amount of followers. And that subscribers, sorry. And that kind of thing. It's like, well, I'm never going to get that big anyway, so I don't really need to spend money on YouTube to make money, because I don't think I'll ever make money off of YouTube. So why not just enjoy using the free online software that kind of sucks, but it's alright for literally free. Like, this thing has, I think, advertisements everywhere, but I have a VPN till next year, I think, so I don't see the advertisements, so it's literally just free. Okay, that's the magic done as well. Both I'm going to let dry now, while I work on the Plasmamancer here, my bronze boy. Because I need to do the waves here. Should have probably not worked with the Wraith Bone, because there is one here, and there's also a Scarab here. So I think the plan will be to paint it rock up first, then Wraith Bone, then Scarab, then the blue. But for now I need to paint the ocean. Using my Techless blue. Yeah, techless blue. Bleh. Can't speak. Because with my Necrons, usually I want to have them sort of coming out of the water if they're not a fly model. If they are a fly model and they have a regular base for some unknown reason, GW, Silent King, they have an entire sea underneath them. However, Juzefetti does not have the fly keyword. However, his entire point is that he can fly because he has boosters here. He does not have feet. He can be feeding from the fact that GW is literally using a metal rod to keep him up. Anyway, I'm going to try to follow this in and off. Like so. Now then, let me go to my box of paints. Okay. I'm going to, while we're doing this, go on here, go to downloads, 40k. Where are you? Astro Militarum. I'm going to go through all the Astro Militarum shit that was added while I'm painting not Astro Militarum stuff. This is no relation, but I need my administrator. I will need my Armageddon Dust for sand. But I will also need null oil. Mechanica standard grey for my rocks. But no. So, going through the new stuff that was revealed, the only 2 detachments we've gotten. Have a look at Space Marine 16 they've got in this edition. My chair is creaking. I think I have it set so it's leaning back, but that's what's making all the creaking noise. I apologise. But no. Steel Hammer is the coolest detachment known to man. They may have got rid of Bing Bang Commanders in 9th edition, but they've brought them back in 10th with this specific detachment, which is completely balanced in my opinion. Completely. This is a detachment where you just bring Bangmates. It's sick. I love it. I genuinely do love it. But no, the detachment has a detachment, its ability, Ceaseless Cannonade. It's basically just, if you're in combat, you don't suffer combat penalties. Big guns never tire, basically. Don't think this applies to blast weapons, however. I think vehicles can shoot blast weapons out of combat, but not into combat. It still makes sense that you still don't get to do that. I think that actually might be something that allows you to do that in this attachment. But we'll have a look. Or I'll have a look and I'll say. But no, there's literally the thing. You don't suffer hit roll penalties or stuff for being in melee combat. Which is fine. And all. It's like, your tank, it applies to both Titanics and Squadron, which is our tanks basically. Stuff like Thing has regiments, so it gets the Scout instead. So Sentinels won't be good in this detachment. But stuff like Basilisks, Death Strikes, that kind of thing, they all get this benefit, so you can't melee them. So you can't. Stupid idea to counter the Death Strike because it hits on 2s is to deploy a deep striking unit, target the Death Strike, get into melee, just don't kill it. Because its marker then hits on 3s for every unit inside of it. This ignores that. It's a stupid idea. You shouldn't do it no matter what because it's not worth it, but it's a possibility to make the Death Strike suck even more than it already does. Please, GW, change the Death Strike in 11th edition. It's not good. It has a secondary feature, however, because the detachment is so sort of... The detachment rule itself is kind of meh. It's sort of like, oh yeah, if your tanks get into melee, they don't suffer the hit roll. There we have detachments that do that and more. There are enhancements in Hammer of the Emperor that let you ignore it. The Baneblade has a variant, I think it's the Hellhammer, that no, it's the Banehammer, I think. It's the other gun version of the Baneblade. It ignores modifiers to hit rolls when in melee. This doesn't benefit. So it has a secondary thing. Astromil and Titanic units. You can select one or more Astromil and Titanic units, Baneblade variants. They gain the character keyword, which also allows them to take enhancements, and one of them can be your Warlord. This is lovely for Lord of War. If only Lord of War didn't have the thing that it can't be a vehicle. Makes it horrendous. There's no real point of it being your Warlord, unless, like... Actually, no, it's great for being your Warlord, because then you have the kill the Warlord thing of kill the enemy Warlord. Do it! I dare you! I think this will be the thing I'll be running in my local league, so you better watch out. But no. One of the enhancements, Battalion Commander. It's a quite nice one. Just gives the Titanic unit the officer keyword, and it gives it the ability to order, because the characters don't officially get orders. I will be making myself a Baneblade and then grabbing Yarrick and cutting him in half and sticking him on the Baneblade. The Fortress of Arrogance returns. It allows him to give 2 orders to Titanics and Squadrons, so we now have 3 units. Lord Solar, Yarrick, who I will go over in a second, and now a character Baneblade. They haven't given the points cost of this, though, which is very annoying. Can't see it on here anyway. We also then have Tank Killer. This is for your Shadow Swords, or sort of... Shadow Swords, or the Hellhammer, because that one is a Melter 6 weapon with D6 damage. You can reroll the damage dice. Simple as that. If only Baneblades could take hunter-killer missiles. It's quite a nice detachment. I'd say I think the first one will be 20 points, easily. Giving Titanics orders is insane. Giving Squadron and Titanics is even better. You give 2 orders. Brilliant. It's brilliant. And 6 inches from the model means you basically have a massive area around a Baneblade to give orders to. So it's going to be at least 20 points, I feel like. Titan Killer? I'd say we do have 4 las cannons. 4 las cannons on Baneblades. So that you can reroll all of them. Which is great. So I'm saying 15-point enhancement as well, because of just the las cannon rerolls. Yeah. Yeah, each time the arrow makes a ranged attack, you can reroll the damage roll. Engine Speaker. Engine Seeker, this is the Engine Seer. It gets a 4-up invuln and D3 wounds to a vehicle it hits. Gets an extra 3 inches to its movement characteristic if it does that. Brilliant for keeping up Baneblades. Because the Baneblade only technically moves 3 inches. Because it's 9 inches long, so the Baneblade's rear will still be inside where the old Baneblade was. Or have moved 12 inches, but it will only be 3 inches ahead of it where the front was if you move it in a straight line. The Engine Seer has a 9-inch movement now. Means you move an entire Baneblade length. And since you need to stay within 3 inches, turn 1 and turn 2, he's still in range because he'll be on the 3-inch line. So yeah, that's quite a nice one for the Engine Seers, because I think they only get like 2 enhancements. They give one in Mechanized Assault where you can reroll ones to hit. And then you have Assault Hatches, which is great, because if a unit, this is for your Stormlord. It is literally only for the Stormlord and the Banehammer, which are the 2 transporting ones. When you transport a unit and it disembarks, they can make a charge. If only Catachan were updated to be Greater Melee Guard. This mainly just applies to your Bolgrins and Ogrins. Get them in on the charge turn 1, which is quite cool. Now, the stratagems. There's a single 2 CP one, the rest are 1 CP. 1 command point. The godsend. Alright, we've done the rocks. I'm going to let those rocks dry for now while we do probably just touch-ups on this the one. Probably just Skeleton Horde. But some of my favourite enhancements are in this detachment. Engine of Wrath. Titanic unit in melee combat. So, I hope you've used Tank Shock, because otherwise you're dumb. You roll 13 d6s, on 4 ups you deal mortal wounds, maximum of 6. Mathematically, you should be getting 6 to 7 dice 4 ups. Mathematically speaking, so you are hitting the cap. You should be hitting the cap, unless you're unlucky. So I hope you have been tank shocking, but if you haven't, or you just roll poorly on your tank shock, here's the bonus. It's great. You add 6 to the attack characteristic of your melee weapons, which I think turns Baneblades into a 12 characteristic weapon. Add 6 to the character. Improve the armor penetration characteristic of the weapon by 2. Each time a model in your unit's fight, you can only target that enemy unit. So I get improve the armor penetration of those weapons by 2 until the end of the phase. So you have to select an enemy unit in combat with your Baneblade. Then you get 6 attacks and EP2. However, you only get EP2 on that selected unit. Really hope you haven't been charging your Baneblade into multi-charges, because that's several things. The Baneblade is not designed for melee combat. You do basically get to charge Tank Shock and that lot. So if you run into a squad of 5 that have like 1 wound each, like Krieg engines, combat engineers, there's a squad of 5 ramming Tank Shock, kill them all so this mine can't be deployed in the fight phase, beam. Then you've also charged into like a squad of 10 Cadians. You make them have no save with AP2 on them. Yeah. So it's great. It improves it because it becomes an AP2 weapon. Imposing a rival. Here's the great one. I got this one wrong, actually. This is Rapid Ingress, but on your turn, and it's 8 inches within deployment zone, within a bird edge, 6 inches away from models, only applies to Baneblades. Rotate the Baneblade so it comes in on its side to get the maximum distance. Turn 2 or 3, deploy it in your enemy's backline. Like, advance the units up. There's a 500-point model in reserves. It's there's this hilarious meme of us Ulysses Creed just straight up breakdancing as 2 Beyblades combine up trees. It's bloody hilarious. This is it. It's a 1 CP stratagem as well, which is great. Adamantine Behemoth. This is the only reason why you use Hammer of the Emperor is if you've taken a Baneblade, and this just lets you do it again. You can make normal, advance, and charge for the rest of the turn. Actually, no. Until the end of the phase, sorry, because you can use it in your charge phase as well. The other one you can't. The other one is limited to move through buildings. This one is you can move, advance, and charge, that was my Plasmamancer, through terrain. Just ram. So for 2 CP, you can go 12 inches through terrain, then up to 12 inches for the charge through terrain. It is hilarious. Shattering Salvo is just select an enemy model that was hit by Titan. After a unit has shot, select one unit that was hit by the Titanic's weapons. They no longer benefit from cover. Great if you're bringing in a Baneblade with like 20 shots and like shooting into a bunch of infantry. Then use your indirect fire weapons on that infantry. Yes, you're still hitting on 4s, but they no longer get cover. Then you have Withering Firepower. One of the few ones that only affect your vehicles, not just Titanics, vehicles. Which is quite nice. So it's not purely focused on Titanics. All 4 of these have been just a Titanic only. Which is great because we've only have 1 enhancement that affects Titanic units. This is in your shoot phase. You select an enemy unit that was hit by your that vehicle's attacks. Up to one enemy unit that was hit by anything, they make a battle shock test at -1. I play against mainly Tyranids, so this has no effect on me whatsoever. Synapse. And accuracy under pressure. This one affects your entire army. Each time that unit makes an attack, reroll hit rolls. This doesn't have a regiment or squadron keyword, so still affects Baneblades, which it will only be used on affecting Baneblades. Hitting on freeze, rerolling. Is bloody great. Engine seers with the reroll ones in Mechanized Assault are brilliant on this guy. That is a brilliant detachment right there. A solid one in my opinion. Obviously, Baneblades always used to kind of suck because they had no support. You had to bring Lord Solar, and they had no support from any detachment besides Harrow the Emperor's one. Because every detachment had a vehicle, squadron, infantry, or regiment keyword. Besides Harrow the Emperor's solo thing of you can move through terrain. You didn't even get the benefit because it was squadrons that got the 6-inch auto advance. And you didn't even get the squadron's assault keyword, basically, where you could advance and shoot. But no. But now they just added an entire detachment that just supports Baneblades. Yes, if you know you're playing against this detachment, you are fighting at least one Baneblade, possibly two. Unless there's some sort of limit on one Titanic unit. Boo! But the second guard detachment I haven't really looked at, personally, because I've just been so addicted to this primary one. However, it does sound interesting. Armoured infantry. So we already know this is probably going to be a lot of transports, which might replace mechanized assault as the transport one anyway. Okay, so squadron units, each officer, add squadron to the list of units, each officer unit. So all your army gets the ability to issue orders to squadron units. Command squads just got a massive buff, okay. And they can be issued the armored skirmishers, which are all your squadron units. You don't take Baneblades in this detachment now because they are vehicles, not squadron. They don't have the squadron keyword, so they don't become armored skirmishers. Excluding artillery units and units containing one or more models with wound characteristics of 13 or higher. Blimmin' hell, I think that removes Rogal Dawns as well. Lemons have 12 or 11, I think, but that definitely removes Rogal Dawns from the list. Yeah, that does, and it removes Basilisks and Death Strikes and those artillery pieces. Damn. And they can get given an order where if something moves within 9 inches, they can move these 6 inches. Not bad. You can't be affected by multiple orders, so this isn't the best because you're probably going to give them shoot, 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 but... Right. Let's see that. Paint up Plasmamancer because we need to do some stuff on that one because now we need to paint up the Riftbone bit. But no. So enhancements. Exemplified officer. Each time the bearer issues an order to return unit, you can select up to 2 other platoonists within 3 inches of the bearer's unit. That order is also issued to them. Not the best. It's kind of good. I don't like how GW is making order economy basically shit. Like, you don't need to worry about who has orders because everyone will have orders. Like, it's nice and all because it's our army rule, but there's no real strategy to it now because everyone can give orders and you might as well just give an order to everything. You don't need to worry about it anymore. No strategic locations. This one just multiplies orders by 3. Give one to, like, 2 of your infantry models next to your command squad. Give a unit 12 inches away, order, those 2 units get it as well. Master of Maneuvering. Marurist Imperial Officer models at the end of the opponent's fight state, the bearer is not within engagement range. Just to hop into the transport. This is just a stratagem and mechanized assault. It's not really creative, it's just a stratagem turned into an enhancement. It's fine, it works well with Stormlords who already get that anyway, and it's just less CP used. But it's kind of boring. Arnisires, I like how Omnissize Agentus. I like how they are given that. Armored Skirting ones with 3 inches of the unit have a 5-foot field. Oh my god, that's great. Okay, so lemons. Lemons will be the bane of this detachment. Because lemons aren't limited to you select the weapon options, which I feel like GW are going to do in 11th edition. Because you can run so many lemons. 5-up field no pain on those lemons is going to be deadly. 3 lemons surrounding 1 engine seer. Give one of them a 4-up invuln. All of them have a 5-up feel no pain. Restore D3 wounds. It's great. Grand Strategist. Regiment or squad. You basically, at the end of the deployment phase, move a regiment or squadron unit around 2 of them. Still doesn't affect Bane. It's a weaker Lord Solar one. You get 1 less model and you're restricted to regiment and squadron units. Which also means, actually, you can affect them with Bulgrins or Ogrins. Which is kind of nitpicky in a way, but like, meh. There are no 2 CP stratagems in this, surprisingly. No 2 CPs. We have Order in Advance. Select 1 friendly attachment within 6 inches of a unit until the end of the phase. You can reroll advance rolls made by that unit. That might be interesting on Baneblades. If you can then advance the Baneblade and reroll because this is Astra Militarum unit. It is stupid to advance a Baneblade, but like, unless you can give it Assault, which unless the stratagem in here does, you can't. Your movement phase just not unit from army advance or fall back. You can shoot. You can give an armored skirmisher assault or shoot and fall back. Shoot, advance and shoot, or shoot and fall back and shoot. Which isn't bad. It's quite good actually. But again, it's armored skirmishers, so you're looking at lemons and smaller, minus the artillery units. So, armored sentinels would actually be quite good. No, because armored sentinels are regiment. They don't even benefit from this. That's sad. I think they saw how good armored sentinels and scout sentinels were in the scout detachment, where they got cover and benefit of cover and +1 save, meaning armored sentinels saved on 2s, which was bonkers. End of your movement phase. 1 extra minute. You can move a unit that came from reserves or did not stand still. Oh, wait, what? Oh, burst of speed. For 1 CP, you could advance. Wait, that doesn't count as an advance move either. So you get, not only do you get to advance with any Astra Militarum unit, you get to shoot as well. That would be great on Baneblades. It doesn't stack with the rerolls though. I feel like GW are prematurely doing this. Like, making them so they wouldn't have any effect if you stack them in the first place. Because it's not an advance, you don't get to reroll with that. Supporting ordnance. 1 armored senator inferior that has not been selected to shoot. Reroll hit rolls on monsters and vehicles. That might be good. If I get some more lemons and other vehicles that are lighter. Pardon me. If I get more lemons and hellhounds and that kind of thing, that might actually no, not hellhounds. Hellhounds will ignore that because they're torrent weapons. Ha ha ha. But no. When I could Armageddon Dust. I need you today. But that might be good if I get more lemons and chimeras and other sort of vehicles. That's going to be great with the new ones. The new vehicles that came out, because they have assault on all their weapons anyway. Your shooting phase just after an armored skirmish unit from your army has shot that armored skirmish, select 1 enemy unit. Okay, so this is a really good enhancement, even for 1 CP. Basically, after what that's going to be great on not vanquishers. It's the twin lemon. It's the one with the 2 wing things. This one basically, after a unit has shot, if an armored skirmish unit shoots that target, they get to increase the strength characteristic of 2, and until the instant. They naturally don't get benefit of cover whatsoever. They just don't get. And if an armored skirmisher shoots that unit, they get +2 to their strength. So if you kind of something like one of the lemons, which it's not the vanquisher because that's the anti big stuff. But it's one of the lemons that improves the AP of all weapons going into its target. It is quite good in itself. Improving AP, -1. Last guns, -1 is great. But now armored skirmish units also get +2 strength and you no longer benefit from cover. That is a great thing. Lemon spam. Lemons. I need to clarify this. When I say lemons, I mean Lehman Russes. Or when I say lemons, it's funny. I call Rogel Dawns Rogel Doors. I have a Baneblade named Maple after an anime. My Hellhound is called Khan because I had to proxy his first game as a Khan effect because I entirely forgot him. Alright, there we go. That's the Plasmamancer almost done. You can see he's got a nice sandy beach and mostly ocean because he should really have the fly keyword. Christ, it's been 30 minutes already. But all I've got to do now for the rest of the video is just touch up this guy and we're good. But no. And then the final stratagem for this, opening salvo. You're shooting in phase 1 Astra Militarum unit from your army that disembarked from a transport. So we're just replacing mechanized assault them. This is 2 stratagems and enhancement that just replaces mechanized assault. This is +1 to wound on a thing. This is literally just mechanized assault 2.0. I don't like it. It's mainly because I ran mechanized assault in the first segment of my league. And yes, I did get a win-loss ratio. So 3 wins to 2 losses. But it's mechanized assault. It's great fun having +1 to wound on lasguns. Well, you get this, and now you can have armored skirmishers get bonuses, so you can bring lemons. Chimeras will actually be great in this especially because they'll count as armored skirmishers. But no, that's all the units. That's all the detachments, sorry. Then it goes into Brickhead Strike. You do not want to hear my opinions on Brickhead Strike. They are horrible. There is a lot of swearing involved. TLDR, I hate this detachment with a burning passion. It's not a good detachment for Guard in current 10th. For 11th, it will be amazing. It will be probably 1 detachment point. Probably cost like 1 detachment point. It will be amazing. In 10th currently, this army rule revolves around 3 units. It's horrible. 4 kind of with Taurox Prime. But it's a horrible detachment currently because it focuses around 4 units and it has the single benefit of your Astra Militarum models make ranged attacks reroll 1s to hit. That's it. It's the only benefit. Infantry, not even your vehicles. It focuses on Militarum Tempest units, which for 11th edition, when you want more detachments focused on singular or couple of units, will be great. For 10th edition, where your detachment is the whole army, horrible. Entirely horrible in my opinion. Do not like. And what's the other one we got? Rhythm Company! This one had to get nerfed to the ground. Now it's +1 orders, reroll 1s to hit if they have an order. Because GW did not balance this properly over Christmas. And I was wholeheartedly in agreement. I used Rhythm Company about twice and it was the only times I've beaten Tyranids so far against Jack. It's horrendous. It is downright the best. It was downright the best attachment. You didn't run anything else. Because you get reroll 1s to hit, and you used to get reroll 1s to wound if the opponent was on objective. Artillery spam, Carsigan spam, hell, Baneblades got it! I didn't have a Baneblade at the time, so I never got to use it with a +1 to wound Baneblade. And some of the stratagems were just bonkers. It got nerfed to, I think it's at a reasonable point now, but it was bonkers. I will be going over the units tonight because I have like 10 minutes and I only need to do small things. But you'll be happy to know it is Commissar Yarrick, Graves on foot, there. And then the two new vehicles, you will be hearing my opinions on those. TLDR, I have a 33% win 33% win ratio. I play mostly against nits. I play against occasional other units. Hell, I have a league game probably soon if people are interested in hearing my sort of what happened in that league game. I might take photos and stuff. If people are interested in that kind of thing. But for now, yeah. She's officially done. It's a very cool model, in my opinion. Very cool one. That's Plasmamancer in this one done. This is part 2. I'll be ending it here. I will be learning OBS, so hopefully it might be a longer one tonight. Hopefully, if it's past 9 o'clock, I'll be able to stream it, and it will be super long. It will be... I don't know what it'll be, to be honest. I've got so much to paint for the commission, and I have so much just to paint. Might be painting up a lemon. I want to see how I make a poll on this. This would be interesting to do. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment if you have any suggestions or tips or whatever. I'm fully open to suggestions. Games as well. Any games you'd be interested in seeing to play. PvZ Fusions was the game I was meant to be playing today. However, my recording software decided no. My screen recording software decided no. That hour-long video you took, not happening. I will be restarting from PvZ Fusions. Anyway, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. I shall see you hopefully tonight if nothing bad happens to me.